Hey everyone! Today's webinar is how to use Google Forms. So, what we'll be reviewing today is first an intro into Google Forms, and then we'll go over how to get started with Google Forms. Then we'll talk about how to edit a form, and then how to receive and answer forms. So first of all, what is Google Forms? Well, Google Forms is a survey administration software. The program allows users to create and edit surveys online while collaborating with other users in real time. Google Forms is part of the Google Workspace products that are available for free for Google account users, including Gmail, Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Calendar, and more. So some of the benefits of Google Forms. If you ever want to create and distribute a free digital survey, Google Forms is the best available option. From party invites, opinion polls, online quizzes, to even event registration, you can make surveys for any occasion. So some of the benefits that go along with this are that it works on any web browser, so Chrome, Safari, Firefox, etc. It has simple and straightforward use. You can have unlimited free surveys, and you do not have to download anything. So, accessing Google Forms. The simplest way to access it is by typing it into your preferred search engine and clicking on the first search result. Alternatively, you can access it from a Chrome browser by clicking on the square in the top right corner of your homepage. The square that you'd be looking for is circled here. And then find and select Google Forms from the Google Workspace apps menu. Or you can use a link like this one that maybe somebody will post in the chat. So to start creating a survey, you want to click on Go to Google Forms. So to create a new form, on the Google Forms homepage, near the top of the screen, you should see a Start New Form with rows of many different form templates to choose from with creative designs. If you want to create a blank form, you want to click on the rainbow plus icon, this one right here. And we'll go over all of this in the live demo just to make sure it's understood. So to make your form, you can change the title of the form by clicking where it says Untitled Form, right here. Then you can change the form description by clicking on Form Description, as pointed out here. Then you can make a question by clicking on the Untitled Question, and then you can add or change the answers on the form by pressing Add option. How to edit and add questions. To add a new question, you want to click on the plus sign at the top of the vertical bar to the right of the screen. If you want to change the type of question, then click on Multiple Choice and choose from the question types in the drop-down bar. So this would be the drop-down bar here. If you want to make a question mandatory, which means the respondent will not be allowed to submit the form without filling it in, you want to toggle the required switch, which is shown here. And as you can also see, here's a couple other buttons, which we will go over in the demo. So the menu bar. There will be a little menu bar that you'll be able to see, and these are the buttons you'll be able to see on it. So the first one is you can let you add a question. The second one here lets you import questions. This one lets you add title and description. This one lets you add a photo. This one a video, and then this one lets you add another section. If you want to customize the theme for your form, you want to press the paint or customize icon in the top right corner. And once you click on this little sidebar will appear. If you want to preview your form and to get an idea of how your form will look when you send it to others, you want to click on the eye or preview icon in the top right corner. And then it will take you to another page. How to send your form. Once you're finished, you can share your form with others to fill out. At the top right of the page, you'll see a purple Send button. Click on this button and click on the link icon. It kind of looks like a little chain, as you can see here. And to be able to copy and paste the link to the form. Or you can click on the letter icon to enter an email address and have it sent directly to them. So you can check your form results. To see how people have responded to your survey, you want to click on Responses at the top of the screen next to Questions. It will show you how many people have completed their survey and their answers. If you do not want to accept any more responses, toggle the switch next to Accepting Responses off. So that switch would look like this. For written answers, it will show you what was written. For multiple choice answers, the results will be shown as a pie chart or graph. And an example of this is shown here. How to fill out a form. If you get sent a Google form that you want to fill out, you'll have to click on the link that was sent to you and fill out the survey as required. When you are done, you can submit it by going to the bottom of the form and pressing the purple Submit button. So there are a couple alternative survey making websites. So there's SoGo Survey, there's SurveyMonkey, there's Typeform, there's Client Heartbeat, there's Zoho Survey, Survey Gizmo, and Survey Planet. So now it's time for the live demo. So I'm in Chrome right now. So either you can go to the Google Apps and then scroll down until you find Forms. So it'd be this purple button. Or you can just go to your search bar and search for Google Forms. And go here. And then you want to click on Go to Forms. And this will bring you to the Forms homepage, where, as you can see, there's the blank form, and then there's a couple of templates. So for today's demo, we're just going to go into a blank form. So this is your basic form. So for starters, you want to change the title. So we can go up here and change it to Cyber Seniors. I hope I spelled that right. Demo. And we can put a description here for the live demo. So now, as you can see, my form has a title at the top, but it's not titled over here until you click on it. And then it has the same name. So you can see here that we have one question. It's untitled question. So we can just change this the same way you change the title name, just by clicking on it. And so let's just name this question 1 for simplicity's sake. So we have option 1, which again we can rename, and then we can add an option. So if we click on add an option, it gives us option 2. And you can add a bunch of options, or you can add other, which will give your respondee a place to type in their own answer. You can add a question by hitting this little plus icon right here. And as you can see, it'll give us another question. So let's just call this one question 2. And instead of having a multiple choice, like question 1, we want to change this one to, say, a short answer. So now it will let your respondee type in an answer. And so you have a couple options for what kind of question you want. So as you can see, we've already gone over short answer and multiple choice, but there's also paragraph, which will give your respondee more space to put in an answer. You also have checkboxes, which is similar to multiple choice, except you have a box instead of a circle. You have drop down, which is basically the same again, except you'll have a drop down menu with numbers. You also have linear scale, which will let your respondee put in different things. So if you just want 1 to 2, they can put in their answers there. You have a multiple choice grid, so instead of having a line down, you'll have a grid, and Checkbox Grid, which is basically the same again, except with checkboxes. You can also have your respondee put in a date or the time. There's also another one, which is file upload, which will let your respondents upload files to Drive. And it'll give you a warning about this, and let's just hit cancel. So for now, let's just do a short answer. So this little sidebar you can see follows you as you go up and down. So we've already gone over this one, which lets you add a question. This button, it looks kind of like a piece of paper with an arrow pointing. This will let you import questions. This will pop up this pop-up window, which will show you your other forms. Now, right now, I don't have any, but if you were to have other forms, then you could select one of them, and it would import those questions into your new form. This one here lets you add a title and description. So it's like this bar up here at the top, except you can put it further down. This little picture here lets you add an image. So it will again pop up a little window, and it'll let you upload images by accessing your file explorer. It will access your camera. You can give it a URL for an image. It will access Google Photos. It can also access Google Drive and Google Image Search. So you have a lot of options for finding an image. If you want to add a video to your form, you want to hit the Add Video icon, and this will let you search YouTube for any video you want. And this last one, Add Section, basically add a second page to your form. So you can have more options here. You can duplicate this section, you can move it, you can delete it, and you can merge it with above. So for now, let's just merge it back up with above. So now that we've gone over what this little sidebar does, we should talk about this bottom bar. So the first one is duplicate, which will let you basically create the exact same thing again. You can also delete your question just by hitting a trash can. And you can flip this required toggle. Now what this will do is make it so that your respondee is required to answer this question. If they do not, they will not be allowed to submit it. So let's just turn this on for both my things. And if you hit the little hamburger or hot dog menu, you can add a description, you can go to a section based on answer, or you can shuffle the option order. So I'm not going to click on any of those. So when you go to a preview, it switches you to a new tab. And so this is what your form would look like for anybody who you sent it to. And so you can see that both questions 1 and 2 are required, and that you have multiple options here. And this tells you that you have to fill out this question. It's a required question. So to fill in the field, you can just fill it in, and then you can hit submit. And again, this would be how you would fill out any form. Just answer the questions and hit submit. And so we can go back here. We now know what it looks like. But now we also have a response because we submitted our own survey. So we can see that question 1, this is the pie chart, and you can see that option 3 has been clicked or chosen 100% of the time. And for question 2, we've had 1 response, and that response was answer. As you can see here, here's the accepting responses toggle. If we turn this off, it will not let anyone else hit submit on your form. So let's just turn that on for now. This one lets you go to a spreadsheet. This will let you get email notifications for new responses. You can select your response designation. You can download the responses, or you can print them. or delete them all. We can also go to settings, and you can see that you have a bunch of choices here. You can make this a quiz. So for now, let's turn this on so that we can go over what that means. And so this gives you a lot more. So tell it to release grades immediately after each submission or later after manual review. You can let it tell the respondents if they missed questions. And let's turn off the correct answers because that will tell them which ones are correct. And you can also do point values. And then you can also decide how responses are collected and protected. So you can collect email addresses if you want. You can send responders a copy of their response, but however, this requires collect email addresses. You can allow people to edit their response, and you can require people to sign in. You can also manage how your form is presented. So you can have a progress bar, you can shuffle the questions, and you can edit your confirmation message. So as you can see, the standard confirmation message is your response has been recorded, but you can change that to whatever you want. You could show a link to submit another response. You can see your results summary, or you could disable autosave for all respondents. And then you have a couple of defaults that you can look at. So this will kind of override your question or the settings up here. So to go back to the quiz thing, if we go back over here to questions, we can now see that this says answer key. So if we click on answer key, we can tell it that we want option 2 to be the correct answer, and we want it to be 4 points per se. And so now, whenever anybody responds to your form, if they click answer 2, they will be told they were correct. If they clicked anything else, they'll be told they were wrong. If you go down here to your short answer, you can see that you can't really choose what is correct for a short answer, and so you could change it to something else. And so now that we've seen that this now has a required option, or well, the one that is correct, we can go back to our preview, submit another response. Let's say this time we'd select option 1, and then put in a new answer. So we're just going to go with an uncreative option. And we can now hit view accuracy, and we're told that we failed question 1, which, where was I? So then we can go back over here to responses and see that we have a couple new things over here. So we can see that people have messed up, and that option that we have had 2 responds, and we've had 0 points over these 2 respondents. And this will show you a bar graph. If you have more responses, then your bar graph will look a bit different. You have frequently missed questions. Then you have your you have the options that people have chosen with another bar graph, and then you have one of those for each question. If we go to question, it will tell us exactly what the answers were for each question. And sorry, wrong tab. And if you hit individual, you can tell, or you can see the different people who have recorded responses. So the last thing that we're going to go over is themes. So you can see customize theme is this little paint thing here. So if we click on that, it pops up with these this little sidebar. So we can change the theme color. So for example, let's say we wanted it blue. And as you can see, it turned it from this purple to blue. Well, I guess it's kind of more of a green. And so you have a whole range of colors you can choose from, and you can even add custom colors. If you wanted to be even more crazy, you can change your background color to match whatever random header color you have. You can change your font style. So let's say formal. You can see that changes your fonts. And you can add a header. And if you click choose image, it will give you a whole ton of options for pictures. So you can just go and click on one and hit insert, and it will put the picture up at the top. And if again you go over to preview, you can see that it has once again changed, and you can see your theme and your header.